We're starting here at the South 4th Ring Road, right by Dahongman Bridge, and heading north along one of Beijing's most important corridors. The city's central axis, lights and cameras hang above the road, managing and monitoring the flow.
We make a U-turn here at Minju North Street. This is a large and busy intersection, nothing designed for tourists. But maybe that's exactly what makes it special. A small group is practicing Tai Chi, moving slowly and gracefully. But the most energetic scene comes from the music in the distance. A larger group has gathered for square dancing.
After leaving the small park, we head back to the main road and turn left at Yangqiao. It may not be the easiest road to drive on, but it shows another side of Beijing, one that is raw, busy, and very real.
It's a hazy day in Beijing. We're starting here on Muxiyuan Road, heading north, where the city feels softer, almost hidden behind a thin veil of mist. The air is thick, the distance fades quickly, buildings dissolve into the gray, and the road stretches forward like a quiet story waiting to be told. Cars move steadily through the haze, their shapes appearing and disappearing. The sound of tires on damp pavement blends into a low, constant rhythm. On both sides, trees line the street, the bare, silent, almost like sketches against the fog. Life goes on here, unhurried, understated. This isn't the Beijing you usually see. No landmarks, no crowds, just the everyday city, breathing slowly. Not far from here once stood the historic Nanyuan airfield, one of the earliest in China, a place where people first looked up and imagined flight. Today, that history lingers quietly in the background. And as we move forward, the road begins to reveal something deeper, not just a place, but a feeling. And now, we arrive at Huadong Market, often called the People's Vegetable Basket. This is where daily life becomes visible. Fresh produce arrives early in the morning, stacked in simple stalls, greens, fruits, and everything in between. Nothing fancy, just what people need for the day. Vendors call out softly, regular customers stop by without hurry. There's a quiet familiarity here, faces that recognize each other, routines that repeat day after day. In a city as vast as Beijing, places like this keep things grounded. They connect the rhythm of the neighborhood to something essential, food, home, and everyday life. It may not look like much at first glance, but this is where the real city lives, in small exchanges, simple choices, and the comfort of the ordinary.
We're starting here at the South 4th Ring Road, right by Dahongman Bridge, and heading north along one of Beijing's most important corridors, the city's central axis. As we move forward, you can see the flow of everyday life unfolding around us. Electric scooters, bicycles, and cars all share the road, each moving at their own pace. This mix of transportation is typical in Beijing: fast, dense, but surprisingly coordinated. The red-colored lane beneath us marks a dedicated path, mainly for bicycles and electric scooters. It's part of the city's effort to make short-distance travel more efficient and safer. Even during busy hours, these lanes keep things moving steadily. On both sides of the road, there are rows of trees just starting to fill out with spring leaves. The greenery softens the urban landscape, adding a calm contrast to the traffic and infrastructure. You'll notice some older residential buildings in the distance. This area blends long-established neighborhoods with newer developments. As we continue north, we pass under elevated roadways and approach intersections marked with clear blue directional signs. These signs point toward major routes like Nanyuan Road and Dahongman Road, indicating how connected this area is to the rest of the city. There's a steady stream of buses as well. Public transportation is a backbone of Beijing's mobility. The buses here are modern, often electric, and they move large numbers of people efficiently along these main roads. Along the right side, you might notice a long row of shared bicycles neatly parked. These are part of Beijing's bike-sharing system, which makes it easy for people to pick up a bike and continue their journey at any point. Traffic lights and cameras hang above the road, managing and monitoring the flow. Even though it looks busy, there's a sense of order. Vehicles stop, start, and merge with a rhythm that locals are very familiar with. As we ride further along the central axis, the road opens up slightly. The perspective stretches forward, lined with evenly spaced trees and streetlights. This straight, continuous alignment is a defining feature of Beijing's urban planning, rooted in centuries of history. Scooters pass by carrying everything from daily commuters to delivery riders. Some are transporting goods, others just heading to work or home. It's a snapshot of daily life, practical, fast-moving, and constantly in motion. The air feels a bit hazy today, which is not uncommon in large cities. But visibility is still good enough to see the buildings and traffic ahead clearly. We continue straight north, maintaining a steady pace. The combination of infrastructure-wide roads, designated lanes, public transit, and green recreates a unique rhythm that defines this part of Beijing. The stretch from the South 4th Ring Road inward is not a tourist-heavy area, but it offers a genuine look at how the city functions day to day. It's less about landmarks and more about movement, routine, and the scale of urban life. And as we keep heading north along the central axis, the scene remains consistent orderly traffic, active streets, and a city constantly on the move.
You're shining through the warm and always true. Through the haze I finally see a quiet world surrounding me. Soft lights fading into blue.
We are now entering the Dahongmen area in the southern part of Beijing. The name Dahongmen, meaning Great Red Gate, dates back to the Ming and Qing dynasties. This was once part of the southern gateway system of the imperial capital, a passage where people, goods, and officials moved in and out of the city. Today, the gate itself is long gone, but the name remains, carried forward into a very different urban landscape. Modern Dahongmen is busy, practical, and constantly in motion. It is known for its wholesale markets and logistics networks, where goods circulate through the city every day. Along the road, delivery tricycles move steadily forward, stacked high with packages. They are part of the invisible system that keeps the city running. Traffic gathers at the intersection. Bicycles, scooters, cars, and buses sharing the same space. There is density here, but also a kind of rhythm. When the light changes, everything begins to move again. A quiet coordination, shaped by habit and experience. As we continue north, the road gradually opens up. The buildings become more spaced out, and the city feels slightly less compressed. Ahead lies the Yangqiao River. Its name means cool water. For centuries, this river has been part of Beijing's natural drainage system, carrying water through the southern plains and supporting nearby settlements. Like many rivers in large cities, it has been reshaped over time, regulated, reinforced, and integrated into modern infrastructure. Now, as we cross the bridge, the scene becomes wider and calmer. Below, the water moves slowly. Its surface reflects the muted sky and the outlines of nearby buildings. On the sidewalk, a passerby walks a dog. A small, quiet moment set against the larger flow of the city. Beyond the river, residential blocks rise in the distance. A mix of old and new, showing the continuous expansion of Beijing. Traffic continues beside us, steady and unbroken, from Imperial Gateway to modern district, from historic routes to everyday roads. This stretch of Dahongmen reflects the layered history of the city. And as we move forward, the journey north continues. We are moving through the Dahongmen area, in the southern part of Beijing. This district takes its name from the Great Red Gate, a structure that once stood here centuries ago. During the Ming and Qing dynasties, this was part of the southern approach to the imperial city, a place where people, goods, and officials passed through. Today, the gate is no longer here, but the name remains, anchoring this area to its past. Now, Dahongmen is defined by movement, by traffic, by trade, by everyday routines. Scooters travel steadily along the road. Many of them carry deliveries, packages stacked high, secured tightly, moving from one neighborhood to another. This is the city's last-mile network, quietly supporting daily life. The road is shared. Bicycles, electric scooters, cars, and buses all move within the same space. It may seem crowded, but there is a rhythm to it, a kind of unspoken coordination. At the intersection, everything slows. Vehicles gather, forming a brief pause in the flow. Then the light changes, and once again, movement resumes. Scooters accelerate first, followed by cars and buses. The street fills with motion again, as if nothing had stopped at all. We continue north. Overhead, a pedestrian bridge crosses the road. It connects both sides of the street, allowing people to move safely above the traffic. Below, the city continues at ground level, steady, practical, and unbroken. On the roadside, rows of shared bicycles are parked. They wait quietly, ready for the next rider. This system has become part of daily life in Beijing. Simple, efficient, and widely used. As we move forward, the surroundings begin to open slightly. The buildings are set farther apart. The road stretches ahead, long and straight. Trees line both sides, their branches just beginning to fill with leaves. There is a softness here, even within the structure of the city. Further along, buses pass by, carrying passengers across districts. Public transportation remains a key part of movement here, linking neighborhoods, connecting people to work, to home, to the city itself. Traffic continues at a steady pace. Some riders carry goods. Others are simply commuting, each person moving with a purpose, each path crossing briefly with another. The sky is slightly hazy today, a common scene in large cities. It softens the distance, blurring the outlines of buildings ahead. And yet, the road remains clear. We pass beneath another overpass. Layers of infrastructure stack above and around us. Roads, bridges, pathways, each designed to keep the city moving. This is a different kind of landscape. Not monumental, but functional. Not historic in appearance, but deeply connected to the city's evolution. Dahongmen today is no longer a gate, but it is still a point of passage, a place where movement defines space. As we continue north, the flow remains constant. Traffic lights guide the intersections. Vehicles adjust, merge, and continue. There is no single focal point here, only the continuity of motion. And within that motion, a pattern emerges. Daily life, repeated again and again, forming the rhythm of the city. From imperial routes to modern roads, from historical gateways to everyday streets. This journey reflects the layered identity of Beijing, a city that continues to grow, while carrying traces of its past. And as we move forward, the road stretches on. The journey continues north. We have now entered the third ring road, one of Beijing's major traffic arteries. This stretch runs from Muxiyuan toward the Anlin intersection, just outside Yangqiao. Here, the pace of the city becomes more apparent. Traffic is denser, lanes are wider, and the flow is faster. Cars, buses, and scooters move side by side, each following its own rhythm, yet all part of the same system. Muxiyuan has long been known as a center for trade and distribution. For years, it was famous for its wholesale markets, drawing merchants from across the country. Even today, you can still feel that sense of movement. Goods arriving, people passing through, the city constantly in exchange. As we continue forward, overpasses and pedestrian bridges appear overhead, layering the road with multiple levels of motion. Below, the traffic never really stops. Buses move steadily along their routes, connecting districts across the city. Scooters weave through the lanes, carrying commuters and deliveries alike. This mix of transportation was a defining feature of Beijing, efficient, flexible, and always active. On both sides of the road, you can see a blend of older buildings and newer developments. This is a part of the city where past and present exist side by side. As we approach Yangqiao, the atmosphere begins to shift slightly. Historically, Yangqiao was the southern gate of Beijing's inner city wall, a symbolic entrance to the capital. Though the original structure was once lost, it has since been rebuilt, restoring a piece of the city's historical axis. Today, this area serves as a transition point between the outer districts and the more historic center of Beijing. Traffic continues to move steadily as we approach the Anlin intersection. Signals change, vehicles slow, and then move forward again. The rhythm remains constant. From Muxiyuan to Yangqiao, this short stretch reveals a great deal. The scale of the city, the density of its movement, and the layers of history that still shape its roads today. And as we continue north, the city unfolds, one intersection at a time. We make a U-turn here at Minju North Street. This is a large and busy intersection, with a constant flow of traffic moving in all directions. It takes some time to get through, so this part is slightly sped up, capturing the intensity of the moment. Cars, buses, and scooters weave through the crossing, each finding their own path forward. Once we complete the turn, we begin heading south, retracing our route along the same road. Along the way, we pass by Beijing World Trade Center. This complex is one of the largest wholesale markets in Beijing, known especially for clothing and daily goods. Although we don't go inside, its scale and presence are hard to miss. The surrounding streets reflect its activity, busy, practical, and closely tied to trade. On both sides of the road, rows of shared bicycles line the sidewalks. Yellow bikes, blue bikes, parked one after another. Beside them, electric scooters are also densely arranged, waiting for their next ride. This mix of transportation has become part of everyday urban life. As we continue south, several bus stops appear along the roadside. Passengers wait quietly, while buses arrive and depart in steady intervals. The scene is simple, but it reflects the rhythm of the city. Movement, pause, and movement again. Traffic continues to flow, and the road stretches ahead. Even along a familiar route, the city feels constantly in motion. After turning right at Muxiyuan Roundabout, we continue along the side road of the South Third Ring, heading toward Yangqiao. This area is part of southern Beijing, a place known for its dense neighborhoods, older residential blocks, and a rhythm that feels very local and lived in. At first, the view is exactly what you would expect. Mid-rise apartment buildings, steady traffic, and the everyday pace of a busy city. As we pass by Xiluoyuan Residential Area, something unusual appears between the buildings. A patch of green, almost hidden, quietly tucked away from the main road. Out of curiosity, we slow down and head inside. There's no grand entrance, no signs, nothing that tells you this is a park. But as soon as we step in, the atmosphere changes completely. The sound of traffic fades into the background, and suddenly, it feels much calmer. Trees line the narrow paths, with fresh spring leaves just starting to grow. In Beijing, spaces like this are often called pocket parks, small public areas created within crowded neighborhoods, giving people a place to relax without traveling far. Locals are already making full use of it. Some are walking slowly under the trees. Others are sitting quietly in the sun. A few elderly residents gather together, chatting and laughing, enjoying a peaceful moment in the middle of the city. Along the path, we even notice small setups, people laying out books, trinkets, and everyday items, almost like a tiny informal market. As we walk deeper, the park reveals more of its character. People walking their dogs, neighbors greeting each other, and others simply pausing to take a break. There's nothing flashy here, nothing designed for tourists. But maybe that's exactly what makes it special. In a city as big and fast as Beijing, places like this are easy to overlook. Yet they quietly hold the rhythm of daily life, offering a small escape between the buildings. Sometimes, the most memorable places are the ones you were never planning to find. As we walk further inside, the park becomes more lively. In an open space, a small group is practicing Tai Chi, moving slowly and gracefully. Nearby, a few people stand together, chatting casually, catching up on their day. But the most energetic scene comes from the music in the distance. A larger group has gathered for square dancing, a daily routine for many locals. The rhythm is upbeat, and the movements are simple but full of life. Not far away, some people are walking along the riverside, enjoying the fresh air and the quiet flow of water. It's a mix of movement and stillness, energy and calm, all happening in the same small space.
After leaving the small park, we head back to the main road and turn left at Yangqiao. Yangqiao is an important junction in southern Beijing, connecting several major roads around the South Third Ring. Traffic here is always busy, with cars flowing steadily in every direction. From here, we continue south along Muxiyuan East Road. The scenery begins to change. On both sides of the road, tall residential buildings rise one after another, mixed with rows of local shops and small businesses. This area feels more commercial and active, with a strong sense of everyday city life. You can see restaurants, convenience stores, and all kinds of neighborhood services lining the street. As we keep moving forward, the road stretches straight toward the South Fourth Ring. Finally, we arrive at Yangqiao East Bridge, where the city opens up again, and the traffic becomes even more dynamic. After passing the South Fourth Ring, we continue forward and exit onto Weifang Road. This road leads us back toward Muxiyuan, one of the older areas in southern Beijing, with a very different atmosphere compared to the main ring roads. As soon as we enter Weifang Road, the driving conditions begin to change. The road becomes noticeably narrower, and the traffic feels more crowded and less organized. Cars, scooters, and delivery vehicles all share the same limited space. The surface of the road is uneven, with bumps and patches that make the ride less smooth. At times it feels a bit chaotic. You need to stay focused here, because the margins for error are much smaller. Pedestrians may cross unexpectedly, and vehicles often move closely alongside each other, compared to the wide, fast lanes of the ring roads. This part of the city feels slower, but also more intense and unpredictable. This is a reminder of how quickly the city can change, from modern highways to older neighborhood streets, within just a few minutes of driving. As we move deeper into Nanyuan, the surroundings feel more local and grounded. Shops line the roadside, and daily life unfolds right next to the traffic. It may not be the easiest road to drive on, but it shows another side of Beijing, one that is raw, busy, and very real.
Come inside of me. Hidden parks between the lines, old streets full of simple signs, laughter drifting, voices low.